Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I apologize, I was out of the office for a few days, so this video is a little late. But if you do like my content, please link the little bell and subscribe. So I'm going to talk about affairs today. And affairs I know are very heavy because they are riddled with betrayal and heavy emotion. So one of the specialties that I utilize within my practice is called affair recovery sessions. And affair recovery sessions are an intensive form of psychotherapy for couples who've experienced affair. And I like to let my couples know that right off the bat when you reach out to me that there has been an affair is that be prepared to be in therapy for the next 12 to 16 months because it takes that amount of time to break a relationship down into bare bones and to really explore the relationship and also do individual work on top of doing the couples. So it is physical, emotional, psychological, and also financially as an investment. So I do understand that it does take time, and I like to let my couples know that this is what you can expect. If you've never been in a relationship where there's been an affair, you've never been in therapy with an affair recovery therapist, what I like to let people know is that I also conduct what's called an affair discovery session. And that is something that happens shortly after I start working with a couple. What that session looks like, it could be 90-minute or it could be a 2-hour session, depending, but it is an intensive session. That session creates an environment where the betrayed has the opportunity to ask very in-depth questions about the affair and how it started and what and where and when. But I also make sure that I get the opportunity to vet the questions to make sure that we are not creating additional trauma to both parties by asking certain intimate questions that can be more damaging to the relationship. I've seen it where, before people even get a chance to reach out to me, they have already asked very in-depth sexual questions about the affair, and now they are lodged with memories that have been created that they can't get out of their mind. And that does more damage to the relationship and the therapeutic process. So I really try to stay away from that. So within that session, what I like to be clear is that this session isn't about blaming or shaming either party, but it's about creating a honest conversation about honesty and truth. The whereabouts, the dates, the times, things that have occurred within that affair and how we got there. So as I work with my clients, I have the opportunity to work with them individually on top of doing the couples, because there could be individual issues that directly impede or impact the relationship that need to be worked out, that could be beneficial within the relationship and the repair process. So that's, again, another reason why it takes a longer time to heal from this kind of experience. So there's something else I want to address, and this is something for a lot of people to be mindful of, is that if you have experienced an affair within your relationship, is to be very mindful about who you tell. People are very opinionated nowadays, and they are more than happy to share their perspective with you, whether you ask for it or not. So I like to let people know is that as you're working to rebuild your relationship, if you choose to stay in this marriage or this relationship and repair it, that less is better when it comes to telling people around you, especially within your inner circle, because people are very quick to tell you, that you're better off leaving, or it's not worth your time, or whatever their opinion is, which could be damaging to you. But it's also shaming sometimes as well, because if you are choosing to stay in the relationship and people are on the outside telling you that you're making the wrong decision, you start to question, is there something wrong with me that I'm staying in this relationship? And staying in a relationship after there's been an affair is a very personal decision. That is a decision that nobody can really influence you, and it's not an easy one to make. So I say this to people all the time, is that relationships are so fluid, and they are a commitment, and they are time, and it's not easy to walk away from a relationship where you know, you have your kids, your families, your businesses, whatever else is tied up into it, but you've made a decision to choose to spend this amount of time with this person. And if you still love them, it's not an easy decision to walk away. So I like to let people know that give it a shot to try to do the affair recovery if you want to stay in the relationship. But just be mindful that people are going to share their own personal experiences, which could be damaging to your own perspective. Lastly, I also strongly recommend do not tell your children. And I can explain that in another video, but I highly recommend that we do not tell our children when there's been an affair. So if you have any questions, comments, reactions to this video, absolutely drop them below. Thank you for watching.